Good evening and welcome to the Passionate Professional series. My name is Tunde Kwikoyi and I'll be the host of tonight's episode. The Passionate Professional series is an offshoot of the Passion and Purpose Hub, which is a channel on YouTube that helps you to maximize your passions and your purpose so you enjoy not just success but also fulfillment in your personal and professional lives. This is episode 31 of the Passionate Professional series. I'd like to say sorry to those who've tried to join the live stream earlier. We had some technical issues, but that's how life is. We've sorted it and we are ready to go. Our guest for today is already in the studio, he's already in the virtual studio, and he's ready to add some value to us. Um, Always remember that this is an interactive session. It's not just an interaction between myself and the guest. It's a three-way conversation. So it'll be good to hear from you from the other side as well. Tell us what you think. Tell us let's see your reactions to our discussion. If you have any questions or comments, please pop them in the comment section. I'll be sure to show them on the screen as well. So, without wasting time, I would get started with our usual tradition, which is to ask a question and then read out the bio of our guest and then bring our guest to the stage. So, the question for this month's episode is this: do you look after your mind? Do you look after your mind? First question people ask is, what's the mind? I think the mind is not something we can see, but we know that it's a part of our body that actually controls our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our reasoning, and our perception. Now, this is the Passionate Professional series. You might ask, why should we be talking about the mind? We should talk about our minds because if we do not look after our minds, it can lead to things like disengagement at our workplace. It can lead to a breakdown of relationship. It can lead to low productivity, poor job performance, poor decision making. We won't feel as creative as we normally do. So, for that reason, I think we need to look after ourselves as professionals, look after our minds. A lot of people look after their bodies because they can see their bodies, but they don't look after their minds just as well. But I'm here to tell you today that mental health is real and we need to look after our minds. Now, very quickly, I'm just going to tell us three tips that we can use to take care of our minds. The best illustration of the mind, I think, is from James Allen in his book, As a Man Thinketh. And he said that the man's mind is like a garden. And I think that's the best way to think about it when you're looking after your mind. So, the three tips that I would give us to look after our minds are things that we'll probably think about when we're looking after gardens. And the first one is to protect the mind, protecting your mind. How can you protect your mind? I think this illustration says, oh, you can see armed men looking at guarding the brain, but it's not really guarding the brain, but looking after our mind or protecting our mind rather, means that we are cautious of what we let into our mind, whether that's from mainstream media, from people around us. It means being selective about the environment you go into, people that you listen to, the company that you keep, because whatever you let into your mind would grow and will, just like a seed, will grow forth and would become the product that you see. The next thing I'll say is to nurture your mind. There is a deep connection between the body and the mind. So things like exercising regularly, getting good amount of sleep, staying away from harmful things like excessive alcohol, recreational drug use, uh, taking regular breaks actually, and trying some relaxing activities like walking in nature, going for swim, things like that actually help our minds to rejuvenate. And also being grateful for the things that we have and practicing mindfulness, being here and now, not living, dwelling in the past or living in the future, being here and now. The third tool is to grow your mind, and that means you should keep learning new things, keep trying new things. Don't just settle for the status quo. Make sure that you're better than you were yesterday. And another way you can grow your mind is to connect with other growth-minded individuals or listen to podcasts, things that would help your mind to be stimulated rather than just settling for the status quo. Someone once, an author, William Burroughs, once said that you are either growing or you're dying. So if your mind is not growing, then your mind is dying. So we should grow our minds as well. All of this being said, you can try to protect your mind, you can try to nurture your mind, you can try to grow your mind, but sometimes you might find that you can't do it all by yourself. If you need any professional help, I'll recommend you speak to your doctor or find a trained therapist, or actually confide in close family members or friends, or there's some charity groups that actually help people that are dealing with mental health issues. The quote I'll leave you with today before I bring up our guest is, nurture your mind with great thoughts, for you would never go higher than you think. That was a quote by Benjamin Disraeli. So, fellow professionals, I encourage us, as much as we look after our bodies, as much as we look after our careers, let's look after our minds as well, because mental health is real. I'll go on to read out the bio of our guest. Our guest Our guest today is someone who has actually experienced some mental health problems earlier, but he's turned this all around and is using his previous experiences, the things that would have called pains, he's turning them into things that have made him better. And he's using that as his leverage point and he's using it to make the world a better place. So I'll go ahead to read the bio of our guest and then I'll bring him to the virtual stage. So our guest for today, for those who do not know, I guess most people who've joined in already know, is Ben Butler. Now, he's a youth mentor, author, coach, and speaker. He has a vast amount of cultural capital with a remarkable turnaround story from a turbulent childhood, experiencing abuse and trauma, including being incarcerated, engaging in drug misuse, knife crime, and other violence. He has since managed to turn that around. He served in the armed forces and is now working to improve the lives of young individuals. New generation coaching is the manifestation of his commitment to using his own lived experiences to enable and empower disengaged young individuals to turn their lives around through coaching, motivational talks, and mentoring. Drawing on his military experience, he also runs camps across secondary schools in his hometown of Shropshire. His goal is to inspire the new generation by demonstrating that they are positive role models and that support is available and that indeed it is possible to make a change for the better. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome to the virtual stage Mr. Ben Butler. Hello, Ben.
Hello,
How are you today?
hello. I was just looking. I was looking through like the pictures and that. Like I was just showing my partner, and thank you so much. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Can you hear
Thanks,
me?
Ben. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Thanks for joining the Passionate Professional series today. The first question I like to ask is, can you tell us about yourself? I know bios are excellently crafted for social media, for for presentations,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah,
always
yeah,
like
yeah,
to meet
yeah.
the real Ben. So tell us a bit more about yourself. Where are you from? Um, Tell us a bit
Okay.
more about yourself.
Um, what like how detailed do I need to go into? Like how like
Just a brief summary, because we'll still delve into it a bit more. But just tell us.
okay. So like you introduced me brilliantly, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. So my name's Benjamin Butler, Benjamin Junior Butler. My birth name actually is Benjamin Junior Hayward, but my name was changed due to um, my mum's relationship with my dad because he wasn't a very nice person, still isn't now. I run an organisation called New Generation Coaching. I've got a book coming out in I think it might be October. It might be earlier. I spoke to my publisher um, literally yesterday, and I found out she's my cousin. Small world, Marcia. I'm directing and narrating a play. I've been involved in football violence. I was a black neo-Nazi, which is probably confusing to many people. I hung around with a lot of right-wing football hooligans involved in people call it postcode wars now, but I was involved in it was called a state. Like we just didn't like a state. Been stabbed a couple of times. Um, used weapons on people myself, and grew up in a domestic and abusive household. Um, and I now run a organization to make sure that young people don't follow sort of my path because I want to help young people succeed in life. Is that okay to do?
Yeah, that's a good place to start. You did mention that you've been involved in football violence. You've been stabbed a couple of times, and now you actually help young people. I mean, what caused that turnaround? Why did you? turn
Do you
around
know
because
what?
many people
It's
don't do
funny that
that.
it's funny you should say that because yesterday I had um, I don't even know what to call it. It was like a pre-launch for my book and play, and I I sort of got a bit emotional. But I had the same question answered to asked me, and when I was in when I was in prison, like I just like I don't want any person to go through the same um, situations that I've been through. No, I just didn't want to go through that like situation. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want people to go through the same situation, and I didn't know what to do. Excuse me, I didn't know what to do. Um, and then the Prince's Trust helped me sort of follow that dream and path. And I was like, because I'm epileptic, I was going from Telford train station to Stafford, and the fire station to the Prince's Trust, which is the fire station, was about 3 miles, but I still had to walk 45 minutes to get to my train station, and I did that for nearly a year, um, because I wanted to help. I just wanted to help people, and I was offered the opportunity to do it full time. And then the mother of my daughter, because ended up working in a kids' care home, the mother of my daughter was like, "You're working 2 days on, 4 days off," and I'm like, "I know. What can I do in my 4 days off?" I didn't know what to do. Literally, didn't know what to do, and she said, "Set up like an organization. You've got loads of experience of helping people, etc." And that's what I did. I set it up. It was called New Generation Fitness. That was the first. It was first called New Generation Fitness, and then because fitness only sort of um, helps a certain amount of people, I had a conversation again with one of my friends, and they said coaching's more of a like like a like a big sort of thing to do, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that's where it started from. I've always wanted to look after uh, the youth. Hence the reason New Generation Coaching is called New Generation, because I want to help the new generation, because there's so many people. I'm sat here now talking to you, and um, next to me is where a lad got stabbed about 7, 8 times about 2, 3 months ago. I've just seen a heroin addict walk past the car, um, and a drug dealer just there shot him. So this is the life we live. Do you know what I mean? And even though I'm away from all this stuff in terms of being involved in these things, still here. I'm still seeing it, and I'm literally watching someone now.
Ben, can I ask you, so why do you think people get involved in this kind of activities? What do you think?
um, I could give you about a million and one answers, and I don't know whether
Yeah.
like um, poverty, neglect, um, the, the area you live in, abuse, segregation. Um, I could literally reel the list off. And do you know what? I really don't know how. Sometimes I say this to my partner Vicky. I don't know how I can change it, because it's all well and good saying, "Oh, someone people can knock down the walls and all that and blah blah blah." Um, but I've been doing it for like 10 years near enough, and I have saved people's lives, and I have. I went to I had that thingy tonight at the pre-launch. um, and had ex offender, ex jail, like people that have been in jail that went to this pre-launch to my book and said that I inspired them. But for me, I'm working like 11 years, and what I might have saved one or two people's lives, or three or four or five, and everyone goes, "Oh, that's really what." At least you saved one life or two lives with the work you do. But I can't swear in talking to you, but Jesus, yeah, I'm there's I'm
There's
fighting
a
a
lot
losing
more
battle.
people.
I'm
Yeah.
fighting a losing battle, and I don't really know how I can. I feel like some days I'm just like I can't be asked. Really, like, do you get what I'm saying?
Mm.
Um, it's a struggle. It's I look at my daughter, my twins, I've got twin boys and they're 15 and they're boxers, yeah, so they're very humble boys. And they um, channel like their their anger and stuff into boxing. They do really well at school. They don't have any distractions. And then I've got my daughter who is 6, and I'm so far protected of her that it's unreal. Like I literally will hold her hand anywhere. I won't let anyone like I observe everything. And again, that is because of the environment and the product of the environment that I was born in and live in. You know, my partner, if I can say, is a product of an abusive household, a sexual abusive household. Um, and I manage her. She's older than me, and I manage her behaviours like we like get on like a house on fire. But um, again, because I've seen this firsthand of even family relatives do things to people, I'm like can't get away from it. I don't even know where to. I don't even know where to start. Do you know what I mean? I don't know where to start.
I think you're not giving yourself enough credit for what you do. Um, you said one, two, three, four, five. I'm sure it's more than that because I'll show proof of it. There's proof of purpose that you've done way more than that. And we might not be able to change the whole world, but we can start with one person at a time. If you change one person's life, you don't know how many lives that one person is going to change, and that
Mm,
is like a chain reaction. So I think you should give yourself credit for what you're doing, and we'll talk about that in a bit.
yeah,
Just going to ask you, over the years, initially in your younger age, like you said, you're involved in crime, you're incarcerated, but having come out now, have you kind of like said, oh, these are my values now? Because I'm sure that you probably have new set of values that guide how you live your life now, so that you don't go back into the kind of life you were living before. So do you have some values that you hold there that you want to share with us?
yeah. I have I think I've always had values. Like I've always had them. I just think they were not. They weren't like I wasn't able to like put them into motion because of the situations I was in. Um, yeah, like I'm I in fact actually, yeah, like we say about like people say like I was in a gang and football hooligan, etc. And like you hang around with each other and you do things together. But
Hello,
we
Ben, are
follow
you there?
loyalty, and I think yeah. So I feel like I still follow that code. I'll
I'm sorry,
stand by
I
the
missed you
people
for
that
a
are
bit.
putting me in a good
You mentioned,
sort
sorry,
of
Ben, you,
head situation. They're not dragging me down. They're not asking me to do bad things. Um,
sorry, Ben, the connection
and
was a bit poor for a
is that
second.
sort of answering the question that you've asked? Like,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I missed you for a bit.
hello?
The connection is a bit unstable. Did you say loyalty?
I
What
think
else
he's
did you
still
say?
on. Come on, we might as well go in. Yeah, I'll turn the mic off for now and then we'll walk in.
Hello, Ben. Hello. I think we're experiencing technical difficulties again. Apologies for that. I'll see if we can try to reconnect. Do-do. Hello, Ben. Can you hear me?
Can you? Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Sorry, I lost you for a bit. So, give me a sec.
Sorry about this. I actually was prepared, but
It's all right. You don't have to apologize. I know.
being a parent changes pretty much everything, doesn't it?
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I missed you for a bit. You did mention that when I was talking about values, I think the only thing I picked was loyalty because the connection was a bit unstable. Sorry, what else did you say?
Where were we? So loyalty. Um, so like my sort of aspect in life or my goals in life are, I just don't. I don't tend to. It's really hard, yeah, because I've been, and there's no point chatting about it. Like I've been like chatting BS about it, but I've been a criminal for like um since I was like 11, 12. So that's ingrained in me. But I sort of know the best of both worlds, if you get what I mean. So like I'm moving into this, well, I've moved into this world for the past, I don't know, 6, 7 years, where like I'm just like I will only have positive people in my life. Only it will have people that are bringing the best out of me and my children. But then at the same time, like I've worked for the council with my organisation. I'm still working with and collaborate with ex-offenders. People are still like, even working with the council, people are dipping into pots, taking taxes, taking, like, it's a different world of like criminality. So no matter where I go, or what I do, I'm still around it. And it's, I don't think we can ever get away from it, ever. And it's really horrible to say. But I've always stood by me. And it's a mad thing to say because I used to go to the football, and even though these are neo Nazis, give like, and I'm fighting within my football firm. Do you know what I mean? With older lads, yeah, but because I stand firm in what I believe in. Um, there's people that have like friends that have been murdered. We've had friends that have been murdered. There's been friends that have died over drug overdoses, and this is in a place of Shropshire, like Telford. Like I live in Telford, so Telford's quite on a lot. Like it's a larger scale of criminality, and I will always stand by my morals and loyalty. Like if I do not like you, yeah, it doesn't matter whether someone else doesn't like you and they're my friend or someone that I respect or whatever. Like I'll judge you from how you like sort of handle yourself, how you go about yourself, how you treat people. And as I've got older, it's everything's about how you treat your kids, how you like go about your situation with your partner. So like will not judge anyone that's had an abusive past relationships, etc. Do you know what I mean? Like I will, but like how you judge, how you treat your partner, how you treat animals is such a mad way of how I like look at people now to compare to like, oh, can you handle yourself? Do you reckon how many people do you reckon you'll be able to stab in that? Do you know what I mean? To compared to now of like, do you look after your family? Do you like? Are you like? There's a massive contrast, but at the same time, going back to the question you asked me, I look at people's morals and how they like the loyalty, because again, like I said, people will still run a ring round you, whether you're from a deprived area or whether you're a multimillionaire. Um, People do things in different ways, and sometimes people with more money have the worst, can do the worst stuff. You just get away from it. Do you get what I mean? You get away from it.
Yeah.
Does that
Um,
answer your question?
yeah.
Like,
So I think what I've extracted from what you said, you've talked about loyalty, not being judgmental, and staying around positive people.
yeah,
Um, I'm just sharing. This is a picture of you giving a talk to children in school, in a school. What's what does it feel like when you're speaking to young kids and telling them your experience and how
easy,
to?
easy. Yeah, like
Yeah.
again, I knew what you were going to say. How like speaking to young people, yeah, and being able to relate to, yeah, I think there was like 275 kids. That was my that school. There's Millbrae School. That was my secondary school. So I I left school, and 6 weeks later I was incarcerated. So um, I don't think the teachers really liked the way I sort of told them about themselves, but they had to hear about themselves because the majority of the teachers were still working when I was a kid, when I was there.
Mm.
Um, Going back to what you said, what did you say? I've got ADHD and ASD, so I apologise. So like,
No, no. Like I said, you don't need to apologize. I said, how did you feel talking to children? I mean,
oh yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. Easy. Talking to adults or standing up in front of adults, having a conversation with adults is worse for me than speaking in front of young people, because I feel like as soon as I'm around young people, I feel at home. Do you get what I mean? I feel like these young people that are going through similar situations that I've been through, worse, worse or similar or whatever. I've always got a relatability to them. Whereas sitting and speaking to like yesterday in front of 60 odd big adults, yeah, I was like, sorry, I was like shitting myself. Like I just didn't know how like I was going to. I just I was like frothing at the mouth, having to walk and like drink water and that. And I don't think I think that might be because of my trauma, possibly.
Mm. And
And I
have you as what's the feedback been? I mean, after speaking to children, has anyone ever come to tell you, "Oh, thank you for talking to me, because I was along this path, but you changed my life"? Can you share like a success story or something?
yeah, hold on, just give me one second. Um, a success story. This I hate blowing my own trumpet. Um,
It's okay, but we need to do that sometimes, don't we?
yeah,
So,
I've been told this. Like yesterday, I had 60 odd people there support. Like I'm always there to support other people, but I had people walking my. But I'm going to get to the point in a minute. But I had my book publisher walk in her stilettos, yeah, from the bottom of the Wrekin halfway up to halfway out, and she walked in these heels that big, yeah, that big, and she walked, and she come from Birmingham, and she's my publisher, and she came that far. Marcia, as you probably know, and Janetti. Janetti left the prison to walk up like this big mountain, yeah, like just to just to see what I do, and I didn't realise. Like I'm fiddling with this. This is a label, yeah, and I'll explain in a minute why I use it. Um, but I didn't realise how many people I actually like inspired or like touched in that like pause. But like my success story, the biggest one is, and he won't care that I've mentioned his name, but Cayman. Um, I cared for him from the age of like 13, 14. He's now 23. I'm godfather to his son. And I looked after him in care when he got given a 7 day notice. Um, and I just stuck by him. He was quite racist to me, but I just looked. He's a bodybuilder. Well, just basically a bodybuilder now. I got off the phone to him about half an hour before I spoke to you. I speak to him every day, um, and he's my success, and now he's in my play for my book, for the book, but the play, and he's in it. So that's my one of my success. I've got a fair few, but I feel like talking too positively about me. I feel like a bit of a stuck up person, so I just like being quiet, really.
no, you shouldn't do that. I'm just going to show a few more things that I feel like you need to talk about. So this is when you were on radio with your daughter. What was that experience like? I think I saw in your account you said that it was a joy when your daughter actually spoke on radio, and the fact that
Yeah,
you've been invited to radio stations to talk about your story. What? How does that make you
so,
feel?
again, being too humble, I think, was like I was looking at my daughter's experience and seeing how she felt. Like, do you get this? So, I don't know. Like, I've been on the radio a fair few times, but that picture you put up was all about my daughter, really. Even though it was about me, I was more like wanting her to look at me and say, "Oh, Daddy's doing really well." Like this is how like my head thinks. Like I want, I want like, oh, look at Daddy goes to school. My daddy's doing this. My daddy's doing that. Like where like when I went to school, I didn't have that conversation with anyone to say
Mm,
that my dad was doing this, and I had my granddad there, and people living in a white. town and that, like my granddad used to pick me up from school. He's white. He was white. Yeah, and the kids didn't understand that. And you're talking early '90s, so that's where again the bullying started. And I want my daughter and my boys as well, like that radio thing, to like look at that. That's my dad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Leave a legacy, and that's I've obviously you might go into it in a bit, but like um, I had a plaque unveiled to me yesterday. Like um, got really emotional. Like I said, there was like 60 odd people, like going from the bottom of the Wrekin to halfway out, and these are people that have got bad backs. That the person that unveiled my plaque got shot 27 times. Do you know what I mean? And was stabbed 7 times, and he wanted to be there to unveil the plaque to me. And there was people that have served more years in jail than I have, but come up to me and were like, "I need to like, have you got any leaflets? We want to sort of like help. We want you to help us, sort of thing." And these are ex drug addicts, like, do you know what I'm saying? People that have served 20 odd years in and out of prison. I'm probably going off a bit of tangent or whatever, but you've caught me on a mad like weekend where like I feel for the first time loved. Like
Mm.
I know I get told I'm loved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
I, I'm getting told I'm feeling it. Like I'm seeing all these people. I'm like looking at all these people and thinking, wow,
Wow.
yeah. And um, yeah. So, but again, I just don't. I like to stay in my own lane and path, and I don't want to. Dog's coming down here. Nala, shut up. 1 second. Nala, shush. So this is where do I I embrace it? Do I be? This is where ego starts. Do you get what I mean? Like when you get to a point where people, like kids, like I've had kids walk up to me and say, "Oh, you're amazing. Can you like sign this?" I've had the first time was yesterday, yeah, and I'm like, no. Why do I need like? I don't need to sign anything. I'm around. Add me on this. I'll speak to you on this. Do you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um,
You don't want ego to get in the way.
yeah,
I
like I
completely.
stay in my lane in it, like, and
Yeah.
I will do, and I will always stay in that humble lane. That like this is why, like I said before, why certain people that I used to hang around with, these are some of them are big nasty people. Even in my on my dad's side of the border, um, like if I didn't like what my dad acted, I'll tell him about himself. Whereas people have this thing about, oh God, he's got this reputation as this, he's got this and that, da da da. Nah, no, I'll tell you about yourself if you like, whether you like it or not. Like, um, and I'll do it in a really diplomatic way. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, I don't even know whether I've answered your questions, but
It's okay. I mean, it's just a natural conversation. So,
Nala in, Nala,
I'm
Nala. Yeah, sorry.
I'm interested about how you got into military service, and how did that impact your life into the
Um,
armed forces? Yeah.
So I was. It took me 5 years to get my conviction spent, um, and then within that time, I actually applied for the Marines. Um, but I had to have a doctor's report, um, and it stated that I had gone within that time to the doctors for antidepressant stuff, and not going to lie, still am now. I'm on loads of tablets for certain mental health issues, but I was like, I'm not going to the doctors for the next 2 years then, yeah, to get my prescription, because I need to get into the army. Um, and I got into the armed forces, and whether your face fits in it, if your face don't fit, like, you're segregated. And same thing as a black man. Um, you're not really. You're just judged straight away.
Mm.
And I was involved in crime in the armed forces. Um, I know I talk about it in my play like it helped me, and obviously because it's a church that I'm doing my play in, I can't really elaborate on the situations that were going on. But yeah, the army's a dark place, like full of drugs, selling drugs, corrupt people, um, rapes, um, drug dealing, stabbings, like you name it, it
Oh, I
happened.
mean, you would have thought, yeah, I've got all of this now. I've gone into the army, but it still seemed like the same thing was happening in the armed forces.
Yeah,
And now you came out of that, and then now you have your own new generation coaching, where you coach young individuals that are on the brink of going into things with crime, knife crimes, and drug dealings and everything. What would you s- what would you say is different in your own approach as to how you go about coaching young people about staying away
oh,
from crime?
wait there, I am listening to you. I am listening. Sorry.
Yeah, my question, Ben, is what would you say is different about your approach to coaching young people, or what makes you your kind of coaching special, if I can put it that way? I
Being
know I've had a conversation with you before, and you said, I mean, many people just do coaching, having no experience in it, but what makes your kind of coaching for young people that are on the brink of either going into crime or probably have gone into crime? What makes your kind of coaching unique?
unique, being real. Stop, don't lie. Like, this is why I've had really hard time. Like, I was, like I said, I'm going back to what happened yesterday with all these people turning up. I had a police officer there. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even invite him there, but like Pete, his name was, he was there. All these people from jail that I didn't even know, yeah, that turned up. So I don't know. Like, I feel like, what's the point of sugarcoating shit? Sorry for swearing. What's the point? What's the point of saying, "Oh, I've got, I've got these qualifications, and I've got this, I've got that." Like, people don't want to know that. People want to know like the nit and gritty about stuff. They want to know like what's different about you that can help me. Do you get what I'm saying? How I've heard this plenty of times off someone, blah blah blah, and the only way I work how it works is the fact that no one tells me what to do. Yeah, and that's why I'm very controversial. Um, Certain organizations or companies might not work with me because I don't abide by what they say, because like it doesn't work. I'm not a statistics man. Yeah, I'm not. Um, I'm not. I've lived a life already of being told what to do as a black man. Yeah, as a mixed race man, dual heritage man, and as someone that has been looked at as poo on their foot. Yeah, and now I run my way. I run my own organization. That's how I run it. You ain't gonna
So you
sack me because I
so
run it.
you're basically being real, and you tell the truth. Is that
Exactly. There's no that you can't. You can never lie to a kid. Will always find you out. Do you know what I mean? Like that, they will always. They will look. Kid, you can come from the darkest, deepest situations in life, and they say, because this is again, I'm probably going a bit left wing here with UAPs and UFOs and aliens, but young people, kids see things that we as adults don't see. Yeah, because our brain is like very like you need to speak to this person, you need to work by this law, you need to do this, you need to do that, and as soon as you take yourself away from that like society of you need to head in this direction in life. Yeah. People question it. So I still get questioned now. People still take the mic. People will still say this. But the fact is, I've got things in my back pocket that prove facts. But I will stay in my lane and I will, I like to make sure that people are aware of everything around them. Like, do you get what I mean? I might not know everything. There's two pigeons sat outside my missus's house now. I've been on and off with my partner for 4.5 years, 5 years. We come back together and we're solid. We've gone through some very dark times. Um, she, Vicky, didn't believe in anything other than what's in front of her. And then when I opened her eyes to things, she's like now like talking to me about, oh, have you heard about this? Have you heard about that? Have you it's so yeah, I feel like I've reached out to a fair few people and I feel like I've possibly like made sure that people have had a positive like influence into their family, their dynamics in their life. Probably but talking bubbles, not talking bubbles. I've got ADHD. I will talk for England. So yeah, I feel like I've done good, just not finished, and I will not be finished until um I'm like satisfied of like Martin Luther King. But again, any sort of person that wants to save human lives and create a better world gets assassinated, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Gets killed.
not
So
everyone? I'm just going to
I've
ask
I,
you.
I've mumbled on quite a bit, so I apologise Sunday.
No, no, no. I totally understand your response. I think it's just for the sake of our time. I might
Yeah,
just need
sorry.
to um, ask you maybe two more questions for the sake of our time. And the first is um, your book. How did you think about writing a book? And what's the process of you writing your book?
So
And how can we, if you want to pre-order the book, how can you pre-order it?
if you can go, if first of all, I want to sell my book, so I'm going to tell you how to to pre to pre-order it. So Marcia Publishing House. The book is called Misunderstood, and that's how you can pre-order the book. The pre-order will be signed by myself personally, and if you don't pre-order it, the book should be out between September and November. So there it is. Misunderstood. And how it come about? Is that what you asked me, Tendai?
Yeah. Why? What made you write a
And
book?
how? Right. First of all, when I was a kid, um, I know you're Christian, and I don't want to disrespect the Lord, yeah, because I do believe in certain aspects of things. But I'm a Roman Catholic, and I was taken to church every Friday and Sunday. Um, we had Fish Fridays, and night mass. I got a Holy Communion, but Um, every time I left the Catholic Church, I used to go back home and write books and draw people's I draw. I used to draw really
Graphic things.
satanic, like nasty things. And my granddad, God rest his soul, said to my mum, "Is there something wrong with Ben? Because every time we take him to church, he comes back and he's drawing pictures of people's like getting um, decapitated and stuff like that." It was like, and I used to scream in church. I didn't, and I didn't know this. That was because I was told what I did. And my granddad, as I got older, was like, "You're very misunderstood sometimes, Ben. Yeah, like, and the way you sort of go about yourself, because I couldn't express myself. So the way I used to it, um,
So, what made you think of putting that into a
so
book? Can you hear me?
because yes, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, yeah. Um, how does it make me want to put it into a book? I think I got told. You know when you're told to like put the seat down or pull the seat up or put your wipe your shoes on off on outside on the mat and take your shoes off when you walk into the house. The amount of times I was told, Ben, you need to write a book. Yeah, you need to talk about your life skills and your life experiences is exactly the same as Ben, take your shoes off at the door. Ben, take your shoes off at the door. Wash your hands. The amount of times I say to my daughter when she comes out the bathroom, River, have you washed your hands? And she'll have to walk back in.
So
So the amount of
basically,
time,
people kept
go on.
saying it, and then you're like, yes, I have to do it.
Yeah, I've got to do it. And
Yeah.
then I was like, but I can't write. I used to write when I was a kid, but because I didn't have really as many distractions as I have or had now, and knowing my mental health, it was like I need help. I just need to talk. Like I talk in my presentations, and I might as well just talk into a microphone and then like pull it into paragraphs. Do you get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Get someone to do it for me. So yeah, that's where it come a lot around, and that's where yeah, it leaves a legacy for my children, their grandchildren, and that's all I wanted to do and want to do is just leave a legacy for my family.
All right, Ben. I think I'm gonna have to draw the curtains at this stage. Sorry about the short time. I think for because of the technical bit issues we had at the start, but it's been a very very um, wonderful conversation with you. Um, I think the things I can draw from our conversation is to know your values, stick with your values.
Yeah,
We all need positive role models in our lives. And you talked about how your partner helped you, the Prince's Trust helped you, and we've talked about a couple of things in the society that push people into vices like crime, poverty, neglect, abuse. And you are, in your own way, doing what you can to change that. And I want to say a big thank you to you for what you're doing.
no,
Keep doing
thank
it.
you.
Although you feel like you're fighting a losing battle, I would say that's not the case. I think we need more people like you to step up and actually help people because we don't want our youngsters to keep going into vices that they do not plan for their lives. I think I'm going to end our discussion by showing a video of you and some children in a fitness session.
No, no way.
So
Oh,
I want to say a
I
big
was
thank
just
you.
going to get my partner and show that video. Can you I know you've got to go. Can you just put it on for one more, like for like 20 seconds? Like,
Sure, why not?
Vicky, look at this. Sunday. So I'm showing you a video of the book. That's it. Thank you. I swear to God, thank you so much.
No problem. Like I had to dig that out. But yeah, you although you say that, oh, I've only helped one person, two people, a few people. I think um, from that video, you've helped a lot of people. And like we said from the beginning, there's a connection between the body and the mind. And you
Yeah.
talk about how you use fitness, boxing, and things like that to help children channel their energy into positive things rather than into vices. So a big thank you for what you're doing. For anyone who wants to connect with Ben Butler and find out more about his story, you can either you can either connect with him on LinkedIn or visit his website at sake of time, we'll have to go now. We can continue the conversation on LinkedIn. But thank you for all that you're doing, Ben. If you want to order his book as well, Misunderstood, that's the link scrolling on the page below. Try to order the book as well to hear more about his life story. But thank you so much for being a guest on. I know you find it difficult talking to people like this, but thank you
Nah,
so much
like
for taking the time.
so I know you like you're closing off, but like I'm getting a bit emotional. So yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you. I need to go in it because I'm getting a bit emotional. Is that okay to go?
It's all right. It's been a wonderful conversation with you, Ben. Keep pushing,
Thank
keep
you.
doing what you're doing, and I'm sure that you change more lives. Looking forward to your play and the book. Thank you and take care.
Thank
Bye
you
bye
so
then.
much. Take care. Thank you. Bye. Wow.